Would you give it up for Rio Ferdinand?
How you doing, guys?
We're doing very well. Great to see you. Thanks very much for joining us on the show. I want to talk about this app that you're launching in just a second, but the issue more broadly about online abuse, this is really personal for you, I understand, because of what you experienced, what you've endured through your career. Give us a sense of what happened.
Yeah, I've had different forms of discrimination. Probably the most prominent one has been obviously racism. And that's why I've been very keen to kind of go to the Houses of Parliament with the Online Harms Bill to try and make the government put some stipulations in place to make the social media companies actually have a bit of responsibility through governance. But that still hasn't been kind of okayed and pushed through Parliament yet, but we're on with trying with that. But it's crazy. I filmed a documentary about racism, homophobia and mental health, and social media was a prominent part of that in the fact that at the moment they don't take responsibility for the negative and toxic behaviours that does go on those platforms which they own.
So you retired around 2015 when these things were sort of just ramping up. Now it is off the chain. We hear all kinds of stories with young players in things like the Premier League and the stuff they get. Do you talk to those players? Do you know the kinds of things that are being said to them?
Yeah, some of the research and data that I had showed me exactly what some of these players go through. I saw firsthand the impact it has on players. I'm sure you guys are well aware of the 3 black players that missed penalties in the Euros for England, and the abuse that they got was off the charts. It was crazy, and I know all 3 of those guys, and I've spoken to them since post and what's gone on. So the impact it can have, and just imagine those guys have got crazy resources to be able to deal with and have as many people around them to protect them, and they feel the pain. They feel what that does to them. Is tiring being somebody who gets subjected to that type of treatment. Imagine people that don't have the resources and don't have the support around them that these guys have, what the impact it has for them, that negative, toxic behaviours that go on these platforms. So WeAre8 is an antidote to that. It's an alternative to the platforms that are there, and that's why I'm so bullish and so eager to make sure it gets out there to promote it so much, because it is needed.
Before you donned the footy boots, you actually started out as a ballet dancer, I hear. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've never been someone who wanted to be pigeonholed in any part of my life. And I'm from like a council estate where ballet wouldn't normally fit. But I was quite a confident young guy in my friends group, and I wasn't afraid to go and try something new. I got scouted to go into a ballet school called the Central School of Ballet, one of the best ballet schools in London. And I ended up staying there for 4 years. And to be fair, it's hard, man. It's not easy. It's very difficult, very hard to do, but it was something that definitely helped me in my football career with my poise and my balance.
Well, my 7-year-old has been doing ballet since he was about 4 years old, and when he first started school, he was copping a bit of flack from the other kids, and we ended up giving him lists of footballers who had done ballet as children, and there's a few of you.
No, there is. And you know what? I bet at 7 years old and he's been going to ballet school for 3 years or 4 years, you said. I bet he'll be one of the much strongest in his class. And people wouldn't associate strength with ballet, but it's a fact.
You've got to keep him going now. We are hosting the Women's World Cup right here in Australia in a few months. How do you favour the Aussies? And have you seen much of Sam Kerr?
Yeah, I've actually spoke to Sam Kerr a couple of times on Instagram. And she scored probably the best goal last season as well. So she's someone who I see, she's on the front cover and the front of FIFA games, who my kids play as well. So when you turn that on, she's there sitting looking at you. So yeah, she's quite somebody that I see quite a lot of actually, but what a footballer, what a player.
What a player. No idea if she's any good at ballet, but if I interview her, I'll be sure to bring it up. You're one of these rare characters. You played for Manchester United and for Leeds, and these are 2 clubs that hate each other's guts. And you're a bit of a legend at both. Do you hate yourself?
Not at all. How can I hate myself? I played for Leeds. I made them a lot of money when I left, and then I went and won loads of trophies at Man United. Oh, that's a pat on the back rather than hating myself.
Yes.
That's the perfect answer. Rio, great to speak to you. Thanks very much for joining us.
Cheers, guys.